Right now, let's bring in Deven Choksi as well as Shubham Agarwal, both of them joining us with their views as well. Deven, last week 3.5% given up, just highlighting the week. Your financials were extremely weak. You had real estate beta play, that really gave way, and one area of focus was on particularly two stocks. That was Financial Technologies, which lost around 75%, and MCX, which lost around 45 odd percent. So these were a few stories that were tracked entire last week where the weakness mainly came about. How did you read into all of these cues?
Yeah, good morning, Devina. Well, I think as you rightly said, I think many of these stocks, particularly led by the financial sector, the banking sector, which probably I think ended up going in a larger negative direction, and the banking stocks going into the negative direction along with the NBFCs, in the particular infrastructure NBFCs, they have resulted into a negative or the fall, also because of I think the concerns about the wholesale deposits to them and the cost thereon. So all in all put together, I think we are heading into a kind of a capitulation stage as far as the banking space is concerned, wherein people have been having the over ownership into this particular segment, and we are finding that most of them are willing to exit, which they would not easily get in this kind of a market environment where the buyer on the other side is missing. So obviously I think the market is going to go very nervous on that particular front, and that's what we have seen even in the last week. Fortunately, some of the heavyweights, I think when on one side Hindustan Lever and ITC fell, on the other side I think Bharti kind of company or the TCS, Infosys kind of companies held on, and they probably I think maintained the balance as far as the Nifty is concerned. Otherwise Nifty would be far more lower than what it was in the last week. To my mind, I think in the current week what we are going to see is I think some amount of bounce back, at least in coming first and second day, and then probably I think we may see eventual fall once again, because practically the buying interest in the market is waning, and market is more driven by the traders stroke speculators who are trying to play the portfolios either based on the rupee equation that they have set or based on I think the trend that they are predicting right now, which is on a downside.
All right, got that. Shubham, we've just got market opening in around 30 seconds, so we'll come to you post that. Let's just keep an eye out on those pre-open ticks on your screens. With the Nifty at 56.82, a marginal uptick from Friday's close. Sensex also up another 14 odd points. Then you've got a few stocks. Right now, IndusInd Bank is your top performer with 2% gains, followed by BPCL and Sun Pharma. Those are the first ticks on your screens. JP Associates opening 1% higher. BHEL with the kind of disappointing numbers that they posted, the stock is open 12% lower, 132 on the count. At pre-open it left off 7% lower, but the cut is even more deeper right now at opening. 132 on BHEL. Coal India though has been, remember, on a daily basis falling 2 to 3%. So on these numbers, even though there was a disappointment on the bottom line, it's not fallen that much, just 1.5% on Coal India. But on BHEL you can see that cut coming in. Terrible quarter one that you saw. Adjusted PAT was down 71%, and the market is not being kind to the stock right now. 10.5% gone for BHEL. Other stocks as well, they're on your screens. Bharti is down 0.5%. Axis Bank is down 1%. Just running through most of the losers. Then you've got Grasim, which is down. Aside from that, NMDC is the one which is looking a little weak at this point. Punjab National Bank is down 2%. Dr. Reddy's is down 1.5%. Those are gainers as well. Reliance Industries up 1%. TCS is up 1/4. M&M is up 1.25%. Tata Power is trading lower by 2%. Bank of Baroda flat. Ambuja Cement is up 1.5%. Punjab National Bank down 2%. Sesa Goa is flat, slightly negative. Kane India 297, up 1/3%. Infosys is down 1/4, still holding on to 3,000. NMDC is down 1/4. Maruti is up 0.5%. HDFC Limited is up 1/4. And then you've got IndusInd Bank up 1%. BPCL down 1/4. Kotak Mahindra Bank, IDFC, HDFC Bank, all of them are losers in today's session. Top performer on the Nifty, that's Tata Motors, trading 2% higher, and we just spoke to Surendra Barrett and he recommended a pair trade on that one with a buy on Tata Motors. Mahindra & Mahindra is also up. Ambuja Cements, Power Grid are top 5 gainers. Reliance Industries at 864. In all, you've got about 27 stocks advancing and the rest in the red. That's the Nifty opening for you, the benchmark index opening. Let's quickly look at what's been happening in the broader markets and running through the results reactions that have come in. So stocks like Coal India and BHEL we already spoke about. Godrej Consumer reported Q1 numbers as well. There was an operating profit margin miss, though they had an adjusted PAT of 5% growth year on year, came in at 141 odd crores. So Godrej Consumer Product. Then financials like Canara Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, PFC, these are the kind of names that came up post-market hours with their numbers. Smaller names reported numbers like Lovable Lingerie stocks up 6%. Then you had Grasim that reported inline numbers. Just Dial came out with a good set of Q1 numbers. PAT came in at 28 crores versus 16 crores. Suzlon losses once again piling up for the counter, 1,060 crores in terms of losses for Suzlon. KEC International saw an EBITDA Q1 EBITDA beat on the street, though there was a loss this time of 8.8 odd crores. So watch out for all of those numbers. Aside from that, a few other stocks to keep track of in terms of market opening, starting off with the losers. Financial Technologies, after that big 75% drop, they've said that they are going to be accumulating funds in a phased manner. They're going to open an escrow account to, probably give back the money. That stocks opened positive by 1/3%, but after the kind of big knock that they've seen last week, this is nothing. MCX is still down on lower circuits, so 20% on Friday, 20% on Thursday, and 10% today. 367 on MCX. Then other than that, you've got stocks losing like Gitanjali Gems 5% lower. Day by day lower circuit on that counter. Escorts is down 4%, Yes Bank's down 4%, Educom Solutions is down 4%. We spoke about Canara Bank, that stocks open lower as well, 3%. Diwan Housing Finance down 3%. You've got Syndicate Bank down 2.5%, Glenmark is down 2%, Tata Power, Core EduTech are all down. So broader market open also is on the weaker side this morning. For the Nifty Sensex, we flattened out right now. Shubham, what's your sense? What are the levels now?
Yeah, good morning, Devina. Now, if we have to, look at the Nifty setup, then there's a global shift that is happening from bond to equities. Now, given the fact that the bond yields have started rising globally, we see a switch happening to equities, and we know that the global VIX is falling down lower and lower every day, and now it is quoting below 12. So we see these factors as a positive for Nifty, at least in the near term. However, long term things might start developing on the negative side given the discounting factor going up. But on a temporary basis, because of selling happening in the bond market, we see that those funds might come into equities and other asset classes. Now, if we have to talk about Nifty level, then there's a important channel which is placed on Nifty, which says that the support should exist around the level of 5600 to 5650. So I would wait for that level, to hold on, and only in the case Nifty sees a breakdown below that, I would look for a reversal in the trade. But otherwise, we are expecting a pullback on Nifty, which could last to the level of around 5950 or 6000. So given the fact that the risk to reward is favorable now, with a stop loss below 5600, we would be trading market on the long side.
Got that. Devin, what's happening for mid caps and small caps? They're falling like a pack of cards at this point. There's no support whatsoever that comes in. Market breadth is tapering every single day, and that's not a very good sign. Volume action is dwindling. When do you see a pickup within mid caps? Because there are a few quality names even out there.
Very certainly, I think, and I'm quite shocked actually, I think, to see this kind of an environment into the market, where actually I think some of the quality companies are being discounted and thrown away into the marketplace at a far more discounted prices. I think you look at, I think, some of the banking space, even though I think they are public sector banks and they are impacted due to the RBI policy norms, I think still many of the public sector banks are available half times the book value, which is I think practically on cash. And I'm surprised that I think there is no buying appetite for this kind of stock in the market. Unfortunately, I think in many of the mid-cap companies too, I think they are not probably pretty proactive in communicating their positions in the business to their investors. They are basically quite muted on their communication side, and as a result of which I think at large people don't trust some of the mid-cap companies. I think that that trend has to change, which is not yet changing in this country. Another point is that domestically the funds are not coming out. The saving funds, be it by way of a mutual fund or by way of an insurance, or even the domestic savings, which is generally getting parked into the bank deposits, they are not coming out into the market for deployment. And as a result of which, I think some of the quality names remains neglected, and as and when somebody wants to sell, they knock down the stock prices and they go down into the nadir kind of a zone. So that's where I think the major problem is. A lot of corrective actions are required, I believe, coming from the regulator side to begin with, and I think the corporate side along with. So I think that could be possibly the savior if we want to see the mid-cap stabilizing going forward.
Is the fate of FT sealed now? I mean, even though they've put out some comments suggesting, that they are taking measures in a phased-out manner to go ahead with the payments. Stock's up 5% right now, but after giving up 75%, it's going to be a tough climb back up.
Well, I think the corrective steps has been taken by NSCL. Then that is where I think the confidence should return back into the marketplace. But I would see the market returning back into the confidence only when the payout starts taking place of the funds which are stuck into NSCL. Once the payout starts taking place, probably you would see the stability on the stock prices of FT and MCX as well. That's what I would believe. Yes, I think yesterday the formula has been worked out for making the payouts possible, and that's where I think the market is a little bit more confident, and that is getting reflected into the stock price. But as the money starts getting paid, probably you would see, I think, a better stock performance into in both these companies, as I would expect.
What are you recommending, Deven, right now for stocks?
Well, I think we don't have coverage on FT and MCX companies, so I think there is no point, I think, me putting across any recommendation at this point of time. But I do believe that I think if the corrective actions are taken and if the things are normal, then probably I think the downside in the stock would be protected. How much upside it could have, I think that would be told by the business situation thereafter, I think, for both these both these companies. So one will have to wait and see how the business situation gets normalized, and then probably I think take a call on buying. But since we don't have coverage on these companies, won't be able to put across any recommendation at this point of time.
No, I meant recommendations as in your stock recommendations otherwise within the broader markets.
Sure. Well, I think right now my viewpoint is that I think August month appears to me a bit of a turbulent month, and in this month we are probably going to see some amount of capitulation happening, the nervousness and the panic happening in the system. Unfortunately, I think we are seeing the larger problem with the rupee. The rupee has found itself, I think, crossing below 61 levels, and some of the portfolios which are marked with rupee, they may force sell their positions because of, I think, the fall in the rupee value, which could possibly bring the rupee down to even 63 levels. According to me, I think the corrective steps are required to be taken from RBI's side. They have basically, I think, tightened those measures, I think, quite significantly, but without any success. They haven't been able to find success on the tightening measures on the inflation side either, and as a result of which interest rate has not come down. Similarly, the bank rate tightening has also happened, but it is not going to materialize into preventing rupee from going down under. So in this kind of a situation, I think the overall, I think the banking stocks are getting impacted, and that situation should get corrected. Then only probably I think we see this sector getting benefited. But even other sectors also, infrastructures particularly, I think given the situation in which we are operating, is heading into capitulation. We saw the numbers of BHEL, we saw the performance of Coal India on the production side. According to me, I think these are some of the nervous points, and that should get addressed sooner than later. Otherwise, I think the market is heading into the nervous downtrend.
Shubham, your recommendations for near-term trade?
Yeah, we have two recommendations. Both are on the buy side. The first one would be SDFC Limited. Now, if you look at the script has been in an uptrend in the long-term chart, and for past couple of months, the stock has been seeing a mean reverting kind of an activity where it makes a higher top and a higher bottom, but it rebounds to the support again. So we feel that 800 to 810 is a very important support for the script, and that is where the script is quoting now. So we are expecting again a mean reversion to happen. That should be to the extent of 920 rupees, which is the upper end of the band. So this is something that we are looking on the long side, and this can be traded with a stop loss at 750. The second recommendation is on Bajaj Auto. where we have seen that the auto index has been outperforming the Nifty for past couple of months now. Despite market correcting, we have hardly seen any losses coming in from the auto index. Last month also it was just down by 1%. So we feel that auto stocks in near term should do well, especially the two-wheeler space. So Bajaj Auto is something that we are very keen on buying after the pullback that has already taken place from the level of 2050 to 1900 now, and we expect that 1880 to 1890 should be an important support zone for the scrip. So we recommend buying Bajaj Auto for the first target of 2050. In medium term, we might see the scrip moving towards 2200, and a stop loss for the trade can be kept at 1850.
Got that. All right. Thanks a lot, Shubham, Deven, as well as Sarvendra. Appreciate all three of you being here and sharing and discussing your ideas with us here. We're going to take a very short break. On the other side, we're going to be discussing the numbers of Coal India with the management. Markets at this point still looking a little skittish at the start of trade this Monday morning. Coming right back.